Excellent. Excellent. Buenos dias, everyone. We're here at Coldwell Banker Dynasty in Temple City, an agency that cares and an agency that has a lot of what?
A lot of heart.
Heart. Yay.
Heart.
Thank you so much. That's right. Corazon, corazon. Thank you. I appreciate all of you that are here and all the affiliates that are here present and all the agents from Temple City and also over in Arcadia. Together, we are better. And here in person, I have Nicole. So I'd like to have her begin, and then I will go on to the next person here. So Nicole, you're up.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Happy sunny Wednesday. Nicole Menard, Fidelity National Title. I just wanted to share with you, as many of you know, fraud is on the rise. And we just recently had an experience. I was working on taxes over the weekend and discovered that my daughter had 2 W-2 returns. And I said, well, Jada, did you have another job that I wasn't aware of in Washington? So brought it to the police. It's fraud. They were trying to file taxes with her social security number, had her name, our home address. And I immediately got on the phone and spoke with our CPA. He immediately submitted her taxes that day to make sure that we got her legitimate taxes filed before the fraudulent ones went in. So I just want to make you guys aware, please be careful, make sure that you're paying attention. And, you know, this is information that you can share with your clients as well, just to be on high alert. We did file a police report. We reached out to IRS. We were told that she needs to contact the credit bureaus. So there's a lot of different steps involved. And, you know, this could impact title. So it's very important that your clients are careful with people that they're talking to, links that they're clicking on. And I just wanted to bring awareness. Have a fantastic day. And remember, Nicole and Yvonne, Fidelity National Title. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nicole. Appreciate you. Thank you. Yes, a lot of fraud is on the rise. Be aware and be careful. Next here, I'm not sure if it was Scott who was first or John, but I'll go in the order that I have you in my screen. So I'll hand it over to Scott. Scott, you're up.
Hey everybody! So in Japanese, heart is kokoro. So that's a new one for you. You're gonna forget that. It's like that song. Okay. All right. So today I want to talk about reverse mortgages. All right. So do not sleep on reverse mortgages. Did you guys know that you can buy a house with a reverse mortgage? A lot of people don't know that. And the reason why that comes into play is there are a lot of seniors out there. They are house rich, cash flow poor, whatever it is, or they want to move down. So you could use a reverse mortgage, right, to buy the new house. So you sell the old house, you have some equity there, you put part of the equity down to buy the new house, you get the other equity, they want to help their kids buy a house. So I'm saying you can get, 3, 4, 5 transactions out of this because you get the listing on the big house that they want to sell, right? You get the purchase on the one that they want to buy with a reverse mortgage. And then you might have 2 other kids or something that are getting gifts to buy their own new houses. So if you guys want to know more about that, contact me, Scott Shimamoto, and I'll put my contact info in the chat. But talk about it because your competitors are not talking about this. This is another way to figure out, just open the door to create a conversation. They may use it, they may not use it, but it's out there. It's something that's different that you guys could use to increase your prospects out there. All right, thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that so much. Thank you, Scott. And next here, I have John. John, you're up.
Thank you, Sylvia. Thank you, Kelvin. Good morning. John Wax with SNAP NHD, Natural Hazard Disclosure Reports. Just want to remind you, we do have a property tax estimator right on our website. In seconds, you can see what supplemental taxes on any property in California. We also have the free renters report because a lot of you are supplementing your income with leases. Get the free report from us. It's very easy. You can get it through me or you can get it online, or you can order it through your TCs. Another thing I wanted to bring up is not only we include the FHDS card form in our reports automatically when it's in a high or very high fire severity zone, but the wildfire disclosure report, we're the only ones with the direct link that goes directly to, when you place the order through us, that goes directly to Fortress Fire, processes and comes back directly to you, unlike others that are involved, because we've heard from our clients that they get a bounce back email asking them questions about the property. That's not necessary. The other thing is, we're noticing, or my clients are telling me, that they're getting the Fortress Fire request in their contracts, even though the property's not even a very high fire severity zone. So it's kind of a waste there. You'll have to probably counter that out. But if you have any questions, I'm 30 years in the business, and any questions regarding that, or NHD tax, environmental, or how to fill out the FHD card form, I'm here for you. I'm only a phone call, email, or text away. And I wish you a wonderful end of the new year, because that is coming to an end soon, and also a wonderful beginning to March. Thank you so much. Information in the chat.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And next who I see here, let me see here. Any other affiliates? I'm not seeing any other affiliates here. Is there an affiliate here that I don't see? Do we have Sage out in the car? Do we have Angie out in the car? Do we have Nancy out in the car anywhere? Going once? Going twice? No one out in their vehicle. Okay. I'd like to go ahead and then begin with a quote for you this morning. And that quote is, if you don't like something, change it. If you can't change it, then change your attitude, by Maya Angelou. I just thought that was something appropriate based on a lot of discussions going out in the field. And it's really important. And I just want to share. My attitude is a positive attitude, because there's no other attitude to have in my language. So thank you. With that said, I am going to now, I see that our broker, Kelvin Chang, is got his thinking caps on, and he's getting ready to get all this information for us, because we're going to get a good dose of all of that. But if you like, Kelvin, I can go ahead and share what we learned this morning, a little bit about what we learned from Kelly Richardson.
I do
Or-
want you to speak on that portion with Kelly, since it's fresh on your mind.
Yeah.
I'll just give the intro, but yeah, I know Kelly did some disclosures and ID things that were at the AAR board, and hopefully you guys got a chance to attend. So share with us a lot about, because Kelly did speak to us a lot about the legal background and the things going on the real estate industry side that really should be helping us stay out of court. So I want to definitely hear that's very first and foremost. Thanks for Sylvia for sharing.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. So the topic was not in any way, shape, or form anything about what's going on, the issues that are going on today. I think a lot of that's being deferred by a lot of the attorneys at state level. They're trying to come together and have some type of a united front to best help our industry collectively. So with that said, the main topic, and has been a main topic on top of mind of a lot of us, either business owners, non-business owners, homeowners, non-homeowners, or even tenants, is insurance. So the insurance that he was talking about, I won't go into too much detail because it was so much information. So he was kind of just giving us some micro bites at it. It's the claims made, a lot of the claims made. Insurance, advancing the money is not paying the money. So be aware of all of that. Advancing the money is not paying the money. So he was talking about, you know, a lot of insurance carriers will show financially solvency. And in a lot of situations, the group SIGA gets involved to settle up to $500,000. But $500,000 in today's time is not a lot of money. So be aware of situations like that. The insurance that we use, the insurance that is used to pay based on a contract insurance may not be responsible to pay in a court. liability insurance. There's two major kinds of liability insurance. He was talking about a slip and fall insurance, and he was also talking about an occurrence policy. So the status of limitations from even 10 years ago. Claims made policy, that's newer. When the claim was made, and the claim was made this, if the claim was made 10 years ago, and a person becomes aware of a claim today, there may be a clause that protects either side of the party. So in actuality, in today's time, it's important to have an attorney, a specialist attorney, look at your insurance policy for any hidden exclusions. So he talked about the scope of the insured activity. He went into some topic about back in the 70s and the 80s, construction was poorly done. So at that time, they came up with a policy of construction policy. So now the work product, who's going to pay in the result of a damage? For example, a roof. If you have a roof leak, the insurance and the tenant can also put in a claim to the insurance, not necessarily the owner. That can be disputed in court, but the claim will be paid regardless to get that solved, to get that resolved. However, it's not going to take care of the roof problem itself. So if the leak is there, the leak will be taken care of, that will be covered, but the roof itself, they're not going to replace a roof. So there's a lot of exclusions. There's some exclusions also. He couldn't get into detail on this one because of time sensitivity, but on contractors and subcontractors, he was talking about a specific exclusion. This was on a condo, so they hired contractors and subcontractors. And then they found out too late in the game that the insurance policy had a condo exclusion. So that was an oversight. So those are just little topics that he shared with us. We're going to have them in our office. He's going to come back to our office. He's going to go more into detail about all of this. And I think the topic that will be of interest to most of you is going to be the LLC and the SE, all those corporations. If you open a corporation out of state, for example, in Nevada, are you protected from a lawsuit? The answer is absolutely not. That's a myth. So he's going to get into more detail. That was kind of just a teaser. So he'll talk about that. And I'd like to go ahead and go on to one of the articles that was shared at the association at the Arcadia board, because today as I'm at the Arcadia board for Caravan, tomorrow I'll be at West San Gabriel, Friday I'll be in the one in Orange County. Article number 1, 7.16, acceptance of a contractual offer. The listing broker's contractual offer, with or without sub-agency, is accepted by the buyer broker by procuring a buyer, which ultimately results in the creation of sales or a lease contract. So payment of the compensation by the listing broker to the buyer broker under the section is contingent upon either 1, the final closing, or 2, the listing broker's receipt of monies resulting from the seller or buyer's default of the underlying sales or lease contract. Notwithstanding this section, default under the terms of the purchase agreement, listing agreement, or other specific contract, any dispute between the participant rules and shall be considered an MLS rules violation. So if that can get any more confusing, we have our broker here for you, and he'll break that up for you and make you feel more comfortable about all of that works. With that said, I want to welcome our broker, Kelvin Chang, our infamous broker that is here. I want everyone to clap your hands and say, yay, Kelvin.
Okay, thank you. I always love the exciting and news. I appreciate you going out and sharing the news with us. So let's get and break down one of those items first. And good morning, everyone. I'm happy to be here in front of you again. You talked about payment of buyer's broker commission. Okay, and that is something that's now being a sensitive topic with all the legal battles going on, not just in Missouri, There's 2 cases that have been added into California's courts in which there is similar claims that the commissions are basically just monopolized in our industry, and there is no negotiability of that buyer's broker commission. Okay. Let's get first and foremost, let's understand, yes, all commissions are negotiable. The listing broker has to negotiate and learn how to discuss their fees and services. And, there are limited service brokers out there, guys. So just understand, in the realm of real estate, let's say the listing agents, we are a full service brokerage. We go out there and try to procure a listing, entertain and solicit the sellers to not only just list their property in the MLS as a full service broker, but we're also going to be negotiating and providing fiduciary duties. We're going to be providing marketing. We're going to be doing open houses for them. We're going to be negotiating, entertaining offers, and doing all the communications and paperwork. There's a lot involved from a listing broker to justify the commission that you're asking to earn. Now, there's 2 parts of the commission that you should learn to separate in the negotiations and discussions with the seller. So when you explain the commissions, I'm really thankful. I know Julia and and Claudia approached me and she says, Kelvin, we're having a listing appointment coming this weekend. Can you give us some tips on how to discuss the commissions and buy a broker, AFE? How do we discuss because they're very sharp. The sellers are understanding and say something to the tunes of, I really don't want to pay for a buyer's broker's commission. And, I don't see the value of it. And they were just kind of claiming the sellers are learning about what's going on in the news. So we need to understand and separate the news from the reality of what's called our industry. When I go out and advise you to go out and approach these sellers, the first step you should do is appreciate the opportunity to explain the listing, the processes that we do at Coldwell Banker Dynasty, the services, the full services, and then at the back end, you have to justify what the fees involve. And I say the first thing you step is education, because the news will not give the full story. They don't share the full education of what we do and why we have to charge a fee and how the MLS system works and the benefits of the MLS and the benefits of advertising a commission on the MLS. So if they don't ever explain that, it's a one-sided news, okay? One-sided news, like is not always what you call sufficient for a seller to make an informed decision. So what do we have to do? We got to say, hey, seller, thank you for the opportunity. My name is Kelvin Chang. I'm with Coldwell Banker Dynasty. I'm an experienced broker for X amount of years, and I specialize in listings. I appreciate the opportunity to speak with you guys, you and your spouse together here, and I appreciate your time. How much time do we have today to work and discuss? I want to be very respectful of your time as well. Do we have maybe 40 minutes to really go through what I have prepared to share with you? Because I know you have a lot of questions. And I do want to share a lot of bit about what we talked about on the phone. You mentioned about commissions, mentioned about marketing, and so I want to really give my full energy and effort when we talk today and make best valuable use of our time together. So with that said, here's our listing, here's what we do, here's what blah blah blah. I'm here to talk to you about the commission portion. So in this grand scheme of things, okay, we live here, and our property in Southern California is considered to be a very competitive and widespread market. We are not a very in a market area situation similar to how the claims from the litigation against NAR and Anywhere Real Estate and all the major firms out there. There was litigation in the state of Missouri where there is a very small market in which, yes, it's possible that some brokers, ridges that are in that state happen to be controlling prices or commissions and the fees and setting a standard that is in that state seem to be normal. Okay. In California, it's a different animal. Okay. We're here to discuss selling your property in Temple City, Arcadia. And I really want to make sure you understand that the benefits of our marketplace is that we attract buyers from all sorts of different areas, not just Temple City and Arcadia. When the benefits of using a large firm like ours, like Coldwell Banker Dynasty, is we're here to list your property, not just in the MLS, but we do a lot of different things. We also share it to our broker caravans. We introduce it to a lot of to the local markets and in our advertisements and social media. But the key thing that you need to understand is listing in MLS does syndicate to an audience that's worldwide, especially for Southern California region, where there are many different buyers coming from different states. They're coming from Northern California. They're coming from San Diego. They're also coming from overseas. And because of that fact of the demand that's here in California, it is very valuable to list a property in the MLS, to set a price that is within reason, not what you want to necessarily make in the sale of the property. You want to set a price to drive activity. Because California, Southern California especially, in our region, has limited listings, we are in an area where there's tight inventory. And because of that fact, we definitely just want to price our property to drive activity, because the market price of the property, which is our goal to sell your property, we want to sell from the highest and best buyer out there. We do want to advertise it and give your listing a fair chance to compete with all the other listings in the region of Temple City and Arcadia, because every active listing right now that's a single family like yours is our competitor when we put this on the market. So due to that fact, what I do as a listing broker is I definitely analyze the situation of what our competitors are doing, what our recent neighbors have sold for, and I provide my opinion of value with my CMA. And at the end of the day, there's a lot more to it that we would prep your property for sale so that we give our chance, the best chance to hit market price when we finally list your property and get it ready for sale. So when we list your property in the MLS, here's my promise to you. I'm going to take great photography. I'm going to write a great description. I'm going to be detailed. I'm going to try to give you my opinion and range of value to drive that activity, so that way we can get multiple offers to entertain and negotiate with. Leverage is the key. If I have 2, 3, or 4 multiple offers who are interested in your property, that gives us more leverage to counterback terms that are favorable to you as a seller. I know you want to set a high bar and list your property for 1.1 million. At the end of the day, that's fair and it's possible. But my suggestion is, let's first look at the facts, and then we determine and set the price together. To me, I want to be on a united front. I think we're a team. I consider myself as if I'm taken and given the opportunity to be your trusted listing agent, I would treat you like a family member. I want to give you my honest guidance, and I want to achieve the best results, because I'm definitely motivated to sell it and get that 1.1 million. That makes everything better for everyone involved, especially you and your net sheet taken away. So after I do all those great things on A, B, and C and the MLS, the one portion that is often left out or not discussed, that is a very touchy subject, is the commission paid. Okay, and I get it. Everyone thinks that realtors are overpaid. But in fact, in reality, when you break things down by hour, realtors are actually not being paid uh, as a professional in the industry of professionals, much far less than what you imagine. Because in terms of number of hours worked, especially me as a listing agent, there are considerable amount of tasks that I have to do. I got to drive to the property multiple times. I got to show it. Open houses for who knows how many open houses. Negotiating offers. I take phone calls. I work my evenings. I do my weekends, and I sacrifice them on your behalf. I do a lot of things in terms of coordination. I have to meet appraisers. I have to meet property inspectors. I have to meet the contractors that you asked me to help you meet. I have to do a lot of I even do shopping for you sometimes too. So when it comes down to the full scope of and grand scheme of things, that's why I need a lot more time to explain why I'm worth the 5% commission that I'm requesting. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and break this down further. Okay. I don't earn that full 5%. Okay. Half of that, or we're gonna go ahead and set in together the amount that we are going to charge to a commission that we're going to offer on the MLS. So let me rephrase what I meant. That if we were to sign a listing agreement at 5%, okay, my fee as a listing broker to Coldwell Banker Dynasty would be 2.5% for my full services, okay? And I want to suggest, typically, we offer out similar or matching compensation. It is a negotiable amount that we can discuss together, but we'll talk about that number when I explain it. The other amount that we have to offer out is the buyer's agent commission or compensation to the broker. Very often, in a large market like ours in Southern California, we do want to drive buyers from all regions, but we also want to drive realtors who introduce your listing to their clients. Realtors tend to be, and always, and since the beginning of time, tend to be commission-based, independent contractors seeking to work for a one-time commission. In the big scheme of things, realtors are typically the ones who are the ones introducing properties to their clients and encouraging them to write a competitive enough offer and educating the buyer side. There's a whole 167 lists of activities, what realtors do. If you actually went and attended my sales meeting 2 weeks ago, there was I shared with that video on YouTube. So you can see the 167 tasks that realtors do in the course of a real estate, one single transaction. There's a lot of stuff that we do. Going back into this, at the end of the day, we want to encourage, and typically, my opinion is that most realtors would work for your listing and entertain it, show it, and they do like to earn somewhere in the realm of 2 and 2.5% commission, but that is a negotiable item. We can discuss this, okay? And let me explain what I mean in terms of data, okay? So this is what I would do in that situation. Now, I pull out my laptop and I want to talk about the listing itself in Temple City or Arcadia. Okay, seller, let's get into the meat and gritty. I do want to, so now that I explained what I earned and do for my 2.5% commission, let's talk about what the buyer has to do and what we have to compete against. So I'm gonna start sharing my screen and show you what I would suggest as a way for you to go out there and present as a listing agent. So let me share my screen. I'm gonna log into my MLS. I'm going to pull up some similar CMAs that I've done for the region or the area because I probably already did my homework. And in this situation, let's go ahead and show you how to do a quick CMA for single families. And I'm going to go ahead and pick the city of Arcadia because it's a wider market. And let's just pick the single families because that's what we're talking about. And then in the grand scheme of things, let's just narrow down the results a bit more because there's 254. So let's pick a standard smaller home that's maybe just a 3+ bedroom. And I want the lot size to be less than 8,000. Okay. Now, as you can see, seller, okay, this is how our MLS works. Okay. I get to have the beauty to analyze data and the marketplace in current time and just understand there's always a 30-day or 60-day lagging indicator of anything going on in the market because sales and the prices that are published that are pending typically takes 30 to 45 days for them to close once they're in escrow. So as you can see, Realtor would look at the MLS in some fashion like this. I can see some actives. I can see that there's probably about 15 active homes right now competing against your 3-4 bedroom home that's less than 8,000 square feet nearby. Okay. If I really wanted to get this narrower, I can go closer to the region. And I also want to show you, look at how many solds there are. There's 21 to 54 sold in the last, what did I put in here? 180 days. 180 days. I got just in the small market and city of Arcadia, there's about 30 listings sold nearby as well, single families. Now, what we just talked about is something called commission. So I'm going to bring commission a little bit closer so we can understand what's going on. As you can see, in recent past, look how a majority of the listings are selling above asking price with the arrows. And then quite recently, you see in the active side of things, from number 14 up, you can see that a majority of these listings actually had to reduce their price. Okay, they had not sold yet. So that's just an indication that there's a downward trend on the price or less buyer activity. And I think it has a lot to do with the interest rates bouncing back up to 7%, which they have quite recently this past week. Financing rates have been discouraging buyers since the last 2 years. And that high payments and high interest rates definitely has downward pressure on affordability. But in any grand scheme of things, I already explained that part to you. Let's look at what's going on in this market of buyer's agent commission that's in this field here. Well, if you look at number from the actives and up, our active competition, we can see that there are a mix of 2%, 2.5%, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2.5. There's a 1% here, and there's a 2.25. Okay. This is exactly what I told you from the beginning, before we started. This marketplace in Arcadia tends to be offering realtors about 2 to 2.5%. That seems to be the norm. How do I know that? I don't base it off of the actives either. I also look at the closed. So here on the pending side, these are sellers that are successfully mid-escrow. They've gotten it into a contract. They're probably halfway into selling it and being able to move out and earning whatever they accepted. So in this scheme of things, let's see what is successful in closings. I see a lot of 2s. I see a lot of 2.5s. Nothing else. I see a single 3%. Okay, awesome. I have nothing under 2% in this Arcadia region in the last 180 days. And so that hopefully shows to you what I'm telling you is the truth. Okay, so sellers who tend to offer more, like a nicer amount of 3% commission, let's see what happens. Okay, because this is a single outlier. They are very motivated to sell. What happened? Well, I can see they're very motivated. They closed 0 days on market. They got a price and offer above their asking price, 50,000 over asking. Okay. And if I look at it, it's an arm's length. Oh no, this is not arm's length. Okay. So this agent worked it out. and double-ended it. They got it sold quickly. Okay. But in any case, if because I'm prepped, I might not show the double-ended side because that's 0 days on market. At the end of the day, this is still a comp. It sold over asking quickly because they gave either a very attractive price or they gave an attractive commission. What do you prefer to do? Would you prefer to put a very an attractive price seller, or would you prefer to entice a buyer's agent, putting a nicer commission? I'm not asking you to do that, but just think about that in the back of your mind, seller. Now let's take a look at the one seller in this entire region of a large city of Arcadia. Let's see how they're doing because they're trying to offer only 1%. Let's take a look at this one. Well, this broker has a nice home. It's 2.4 million. It's 2 weeks on the market. Okay. How many price changes have they had? Oh, I see what they've done. They tried to sell it for 2.68 million. And then they've reduced it to 2.45. I can see here in the last 2 weeks, nothing, no activity. And I think that 1% largely had to do with impacting the showing and activity that the first 2 weeks, like I already told you, is the most important time a brand new listing has on the market. This is your best opportunity to fetch multiple offers and hopefully get over asking. Okay. Now in this situation, because they wasted their first 2 weeks at 1% commission and at a very high price, now they're forced to negotiate without leverage. Remember when I talked to you about leverage? They do not have leverage now because they lost that time. They lost their original price. They've kind of put out an impression to the market that they're not willing to pay a lot or give a lot or compensate a lot. And in this situation, is potentially detrimental for this seller because their listing is now tainted a little bit with this with their desire to only provide 1%. But that's up to them. Okay, that seller may sit on the market for a while. They might have to reduce the price a little bit more. And what the heck is 21% in the big grand scheme of things, seller? If at 2.4 million, it's 24,000. Okay, that's a lot of money. I get it. But it's a lot less money to pay if they started with 2%. I'd rather pay another 24,000 in commission than to reduce my asking price $240,000. That's a 10% decrease. I think it's okay to pay a commission versus reducing your price 240,000. That to me is a huge drop in value and price. Okay. Now, if I really want to discuss this further, I don't know how else I could have done it better, but I can tell you, I, as a broker, have demonstrated through data, through whatever, and I can do this in any city, why 2.5% should be explained and negotiated. And let's just say, how about this? We'll do 2.5 on my end, 2.25 for the buyer's agent or something like that. Is that fair for you, seller? And I get them to sign a commission because I know they want to get it under 5%. Okay, fine, let's do it. Let's sign it up. Let's just get it. I want to work on it. I really want to work with you. I don't want 0.25% or 0.5% to stop us from working together and me getting results for you. Okay. Any questions on that discussion regarding commissions? Because I'm really trying to help educate and teach you a tactful way to explain commissions via just throwing it in front of them.
So Kelvin, question.
Yep.
What Mark and I were just we didn't get a listing in Temple City,
Okay.
and we were the 8th interviewees, and according to the seller, we excelled and superseded all the other agents with all the obstacles and questions. We came prepared. We went over the data just like you. We brought our laptop. However, after the seller asked, well, how much do you charge? And said, thank you for the question. This is how much I charge. Went through the whole spiel as you did. At the end, he says, I refuse to pay commission for the buyer. I'll pay you 2.5.
Mhm.
So how do you come back from a 2.5? How do you come back from a 5% to a 2.5, not paying any buyer commission? Going over the negativity and what can hurt the property. In the mindset of this seller, this property is in a hot spot, and he's not even the title. He's not on title, but he's the decision maker. So
Well,
his
I would have this exercise done with that seller who's particular on not wanting to pay any commission out and offering it for the buyer's agent. And I hear you, seller, and I'm not opposed to what you're talking about. So let's understand that a little bit deep further, because you're asking me a very complex question regarding not wanting to pay the buyer's agent commission. But let's just discuss the pros and the cons. Pros, you might be able to potentially sell your property, offering out, let's say, 0% on the market, and maybe a buyer, chooses to write an offer on your property, and they find your property in the MLS, and they find an agent themselves. Okay. And is it possible to sell it? Absolutely. I'm always a person to say it is always possible. Practically anything is possible. I always believe that. However, there is the factors in which that will potentially discourage activity to your property. And that's up to you to decide, because some people don't want a lot of activity on the property. Maybe you just don't want people to coming in. You don't want realtors to be showing it to their clients, and you just really just you don't have a strong motivation. You're willing because you're still living here, or you're really, you're open-ended on the timing. But my question to you first and foremost, seller, how motivated are you to sell? Do you wish to sell this property and get it under a contract in the next 30 days? Is that important to you? Okay. Because if it is important to you, I believe there are factors in play that will slow down your process if you do offer less commission. Let me show you what I can show to you and I haven't even done this exercise. So let's talk about any closed property in the single family residence in the entire, you said Temple City, right?
yes.
Okay. Well, I'm going to take a region because I want to show you something very interesting. Okay. So I'm going to pull up our San Gabriel Valley region. Okay. Next thing I'm going to do is draw constraints. And I'll just circle around. I'll just circle around a little territory here from the 60 to here. Okay. So seller of Temple City, let's take a look at one thing that we're talking about right now, which is regarding commissions. Okay. Let's see all the sellers, because you're not the only person who does not want to pay a buyer's commission. I can tell you 99% of sellers will have the same opinion of you. I prefer not to pay a buyer's agent commission. Okay. So given that fact, let me go over I'm going to go look at the commission section. So let me find that section. And if you don't find that, you have to find it. I think it's B. It should be buyer agent commission. Am I blind? Can someone see where it says buyer's agent commission?
No, I don't see it anywhere in there where you're scrolling.
Okay, I went to detail, but anyway, I could still do it. I could still achieve what I'm talking about.
It says buyer agent compensation.
Yeah, I know. That's what it is, Narinder. Thank you. I'm gonna do it anyways backwards. Okay, I'm just gonna do my drop-down menu, and let's talk about all the sellers who had the similar ideas and concept of offering zero or low compensation to a buyer's agent. Okay, so I'm gonna go through this and sort. It's not giving me the sort field because there's too many. I really got to find that field.
I never even use it because personally, I still show the property anyways. And then if I come across an issue with my own personal compensation, then I'll negotiate it.
It should be like Narinder said, buyer agent commission.
Yeah.
It was
Well-
right there. Just go to B. I think I saw it earlier.
Right there.
I only see
Right,
remarks. That's
yeah.
remarks. That's gonna be
It's not going to show over there.
not gonna, it has to be a buyer agent. It should be percentage or dollar.
Okay.
I saw that part too, but I just know that's not gonna help
Okay.
what I'm trying to show you. I can see. Let me see what that says.
I like what you said, Narendra. You said compensation. I personally don't care for the word commission. Compensation seems more appropriate to all the work we put into.
Yeah, and that's the correct term we should use. You know.
It is.
Exactly.
It is the correct term.
100%. Don't be surprised if it changes in the future because I did bring it up to the DRE commissioner.
I think they did change that to a compensation from commission. I think I read somewhere.
Okay, I haven't heard or read that through the pipeline yet.
Okay.
What
Yeah.
I was trying to show you, but for some reason it sorts everything else but the commission. I can't click on this field. I can sort in any case, I was gonna go through all of the ones where they advertise a flat fee or a 1%. Okay. And or less. Okay. But I wanted to show that seller there's out of the thousands of listings that 2,500 listings that I pulled up, there's only maybe 2 sellers that have tried it and maybe have done it successfully. And if I added it in expireds and canceled, there's probably a lot more that have failed than succeeded. So do you want to take your chances on that seller? There are 8 sellers that attempted it, failed, but there's 2 closings that did. But of those 2 closings that did succeed sell, they probably went under asking or they sold longer on market. And that's why I first asked you, seller, do you need to get this sold in the next 21 or 30 days? Because if that's your goal, look at all of the majority of the sellers that are offering out a commission. There are offering out, something worthwhile. The last thing I wanted to speak about is just telling you that, time does cost money. I would explain to that seller about the what would happen. Okay. The buyer agents may be asked to show your property at 0%. And even if they had a buyer who was ready and willing and called a bona fide purchaser to write an offer on your home, here, seller, I have a great offer, full price. Okay. This agent, do you think he's going to want to work for free for the next 30, 45 days that he wrote on here? How many agents want to work for $0? Seller, would you want to work for $0 and help buyer go through this process? Okay, maybe not. Maybe they will pass. But let's just say their purchaser does want to write that offer. This buyer's agent has 2 choices. They're going to either A, have to request a commission from you, and they'll use a form called cooperating broker compensation. Here's a copy. Take a look. Some of them might ask for 2% or 2.5%, 3%, who knows? So they'll write an offer conditional upon you paying a commission. But if you don't want to pay the commission, you don't have to accept their offer. But if they gave you a great offer, you might want to consider it. Okay. Second choice that buyer agent has is to ask their buyer to pay their own commission. That's possible too. It's negotiable. I'll tell them, nope, our price is set. This is what we're asking for. We're not offering any buyer's agent commission. My seller insists we're not going to offer anything. So if you want to write an offer and you want to hopefully get acceptance with my client, we're going to have you submit your offer, and you're going to have to factor and talk to your buyer about paying your own commission. We do not pay any commissions out for this listing. Okay. And that's the instructions I have with the seller. And then guess what the buyer agent has to do? They're going to have to ask for their 2% or 2.5% or 3% from their buyer. And the buyer has to have not only reserves to close their property, they have to qualify for financing. And if they have to pay 2% of 1.4 million, which is, $28,000 to their buyer's agent, that's $28,000 less in their available funds to qualify for financing, because these are all contractually built in where at closing, they're going to charge it to their buyer. So that may have less buyer borrowing power because they have less funds to work with. This might bring them from one bracket to the next bracket because of less, they might have to go from a 20% conventional to a 15% with PMI. And guess what happens when they have a lower payment? I mean, a higher payment and interest involved. That means that they have lower offers to write to you if they are sharp enough to understand this. Okay, so in the grand scheme of things, by putting an offer of compensation to a buyer's agent, this allows buyers to have their full available funds to write offers on you. It allows these buyers, technically, because they're transferring this money into your account, it allows these buyers who technically are paying you to pay the commission seller, it allows them to finance that commission that they're ultimately paying you over 30 years through their financing. That's the benefit of providing a compensation to a buyer's agent. So now that we discussed this, we talked about my fee at 2.5%. Seller, what do you want to offer out for the buyer's agent? Okay. If you still want to do that, let's try it. Okay, let's go. Okay, that's what I would do, Sylvia.
Thank you. I appreciate that detailed information. It's very helpful. Sometimes at the end of the day, you just have to chalk it up that you can't win them all. They chose to go with someone else, and maybe it was a godsend that we didn't get it. Who knows?
I got a lot talked about now. I didn't realize I talked so much about the listing commission. I basically just gave you a listing presentation spiel. Coldwell Banker Dynasty. We belong to a parent company that has been trusted in real estate since pretty much the beginning of time. In 1906 is when Coldwell Banker started in San Francisco. We have right now at this moment 117 years of guiding people to homes. We are ranked by major sources that #1 in agent trust. We are #1 in advertising in 11 straight years. 33% more average improvement for closed volume for all of our agents that follow the Coldwell Banker University Learning Center courses. These agents tend to do a lot better in sales and commission and income if you take the classes that I keep telling you every other week. Please take some Moxie classes. Please take the boot camp if you're a new agent. Please take the Amplify classes if you're a producing agent, experienced. Agents and teams who utilize the products are 3.5 times more productive. Women's Choice Award. We have 100,000 agents across 40 countries. We represented 608,000 sides in US. We're the #1 most real estate visited brand online from all of our competitors. No one can brag about this stuff. And we do a lot for the community as well. So our sales volume, 295 billion in sales volume. And this is only including what Coldwell Banker Residential has done. This may not include all of the other stuff that's performed as well. That's cool stuff to share. These are the quotables. You can find this in your CB Marketing Center. You can make this your own and design it. And I wanted to show you that to you really quickly. I also wanted to show to you real quickly that independent contractors, okay, there are some, if you have assistants or you have people that you work with and under your staff or that are working under you, you do want to understand there is a quick guide for independent contractors or employees. People, for example, you might hear in the I'll call it the blue fin model, are actually employees. Okay, they do work under a broker for an hourly or sometimes for a set fixed hourly price. So some of them have to work a certain amount of hours. They might have to wear a certain type of outfit when they go showing, this and this and that. So this is always being tested by by those who want to tax independent contractors more, because we get a lot of benefits being classified as an independent contractor. I'll be quite honest with you. Tax season is coming and approaching. I hope you guys are working on your filing your taxes with your accountant, providing your data, details, receipts, expenses, plus your mileage that you're recording in your journals, like I've taught you. And just really properly labeling your write-offs. If you're going to take a deduction, I'm going to remind you, if you had a good year last year, or you plan to take advantage of a vehicle in the coming year, consider the Section 179 deduction for a 6,000 pound vehicle or greater. That would be like a F-150 truck or a large Highlander, something that's a larger truck vehicle. They do qualify for the full Section 179 deduction. Just a reminder if you're interested in that. And it could be a business write-off if you use it for business purposes. I do want to highlight one thing from Kendra, who is visited our office this past week with me and Sylvia. We're gonna have with the quotables here, a luxury self-paced certification. I have so many of you who are eligible and qualified to be a global luxury agent, but you don't have the designation because you haven't taken the class. Here's now going to be an opportunity next month. I encourage you to check in your MyCB desk, check out the self-paced certification for global luxury. It'll be in your CB University, and try to get your designation so that way you can forever have it. It's a great way to separate yourself because global luxury agents tend to be, it's very prestigious. This replaced Coldwell Banker Previews. And so this is the premier set of tools and marketing and a separate website for all the $1 million luxury estate listings that we have at Coldwell Banker brand. So check it out. It will be available in March. This is the first time I heard of it. I would try to take it if I can. I am taking a 2-week vacation in March though. So if you do need anything, I might be harder to reach. Call or text me if you need anything from me, or email me, I'm sorry. So I can have time to review it when I have Wi-Fi. I'm not gonna always have access to Wi-Fi. The last thing I want to talk about is let's go through our new listings. Okay. So we have Canis. I'll do Arcadia office first. And Canis is always on top of it. I love her work. She's always on point. Congratulations to Kathleen Wong. She sold this 738 Orchard Loop in Azusa. This condo sold for $890,000. Great job, Kathleen. We have also Jackson, 16220 Sigmund Street, Hacienda Heights. This one sold at 912,000. I want to pause right here. There's something important I need to share with you, which is the trainings this week. I forgot to do the education.
I was just going to ask you that, Kelvin.
I don't have it in front of me, but I do know that tomorrow,
Yes.
we have two huge speakers. I have your audience, I have your attention. We have two great speakers coming tomorrow, starting at 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock, we have all about ADUs. We have a specific company talking about the qualifications of ADUs, which kind of properties will be eligible for an ADU, and yeah, I have it in my in our post up, but maybe you have it, Sylvia. I can't remember where it is, but anyway,
Yes.
they're gonna highlight that portion as the two-part speaker series. Arcadia, Temple City, I want to ask, please come visit us live in person, starting at 12. The ADU person is going to talk about how you can also get financing, and or they can help you with the mapping and drawing of the design, plus they can help you with the construction. This company seems to be a very decent company. I haven't worked with them, but I was recommended for them to come speak for us. So they're here tomorrow, 12 o'clock. But more importantly, we also have Art Carter. He is the CEO of CRMLS, coming live in person again. This is his next annual visit to us. We appreciate Sylvia reaching out to him and coming and inviting him to speak in person about issues and industry things going on in the MLS. Sylvia, want to share anything you want to know about
Sure.
tomorrow?
Sure. Thank you so much, Calvin, for that. So yes, as most of you know, I also sit on the board for the CRMLS rules and regulations. So part of what he'll be discussing are the current issues going on right now, all the lawsuits. He will be going into some of that. Really, there's not much information that you probably already know. But as far as the CRMLS, we went back and forth on a lot of discussion with about 54 association persons, and yours truly was the only one live in person. I feel that that is extremely important to have add value on behalf of our agency here. So the discussion, some changes that you'll be seeing is there's a field on the CRMLS in regards to concessions. So the concessions field is everyone, brokers, realtors, are very passionate about that, and they're going to make it more specific because the appraisers are not able to do proper evaluations on the worth of the property without knowing if there was a $25,000 credit towards something, which is really popular right now, is the roofs. A lot of the roofs that are brand new during inspections, the roofs are turning out to be really bad, and they're not certified. And with the type of rains that we've had has really shown the lack of quality on the workmanship on these roofs. So the concession section is going to, I signed up for the task force. We're going to make it more specific. We're trying to figure out, do we want to care about anything less than 5,000? Are we going to be petty to where a doorknob was changed and there was a credit given for a doorknob? Things like that. So those are things kind of going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So Art Carter is a very highly valued speaker. All it took was one phone call. He was in Washington, D.C., and he says, anything for Coldwell Banker Dynasty, Sylvia, I'm there. So for you foodies out there, there is going to be pizza from the pizza cart and some salad. And I did put down for about 33 people. So I hope that a good problem is that we have more than 33 people, but we are going to also have a special guest. The president, Renee Bonora from the AAR, the Arcadia Association of Realtors, where both Kelvin and I are former presidents from, is going to visit us. I invited her. She's a good president. She really listens. If you have any issues, concerns, or anything like that, she will give you her cell phone number. She has open door policy. She simulates Kelvin and my style. So I invited her, and the CEO is also going to come by, Andrew Cooper. Andrew Cooper, they're going to come by, and maybe he'll share some insight about the AAR. And yeah, we'll go from there. I also have two special guests coming in, two recruits that hopefully will join us. They're going to be present tomorrow. I'll introduce them to you. And yeah, BPT, bringing people together, and the agency that cares, an agency with a lot of heart. So let's show that. Let's show that tomorrow. Mama Bear, she's
All
not here
right.
today. Mary is going to provide our beverages. So I'm excited for that. She always comes through. So for those of you that don't want to just have water or tea, there'll be a little bit of extra. So thank you for that, Kelvin.
All right. I'm really happy and proud that you brought in together some very powerful speakers for us, and definitely
Oh,
want
one
to
more thing. Tomorrow is Lunar Year. Don't forget, tomorrow is Lunar Year. So for those of you that have birthdays, maybe every 9 years on Lunar Year, let us know. That's pretty neat. That's kind of a neat situation, especially those that got married on a Lunar Year and you're not married for so many years and you're married again. You know,
I'm gonna chime in. It's called a leap year. Okay.
that's right.
A
Leap.
leap
I'm
year.
thinking of the
Every
Chinese
four
New Year.
years, the
Yeah,
rotation of the Earth
that's right.
does not take exactly 365 days. It's actually 365 and a half, and
Yeah.
25% of one day. So that's why every 4 years it becomes a leap year. Take advantage of it. Anyway, let's go into
Thank you.
the
Kelvin, I have my listing for lease in Chino is closed, 3,500.
I'm getting to it. Thank you. I was doing my email ones first because I paused. Remember, I said pause, pause, pause. So we're doing Arcadia right now. First, they have Jackson Wong selling 912,000 for 16220 Sigmund Street, Hacienda Heights. And Henry Liu, he did close this one on Electric Avenue, Alhambra, 1,015,000. Congratulations, Henry. Jennifer sold this condo, 499,000 in Monterey Park. Whoa, you can get 2 bedrooms in Monterey Park for 12. That's not bad. 436 Roosevelt Ave, Pomona, sold for 700,000. This is a big lot, 9,000 plus. We got 810 Naomi. Congrats, Meng Lee. He sold 798,000 for this condominium in Arcadia. And moving on to Arcadia, let's talk about our current actives and solds. Coming soon, we have 16538 Desert Willow Street in Victorville. This is nearly 3,000 square feet for 480,000. What an amazing deal. Oh man, you can get something for 160 price per square foot. It's a newer construction, only 2006. What a huge deal. I haven't seen too many nicer homes for 160 price per square foot. Daniel Wong, Coldwell Banker, Temple City. So talk to him. If you have anyone for this coming soon, it'll be showing next week. Ready. We also have 22427 Steeplechase Lane in Diamond Bar. Ooh, this is a $3.7 million luxury estate listing, brand new on the market just today. This morning, we have Henry Liu listing this property. I think this is probably very near or in the country. Yes, it is. It's a country estates masterpiece. So if you don't know where this is, where Snoop Dogg lives, and come get a piece of your definitely a lot of high-end clientele and overseas people there. $3.5 million for 800 Monterey Pass Road. Warehouse for sale. I know Shanae went to go show this property. This is Henry's listing. He has a nice warehouse for 11,000, almost 12,000 square feet. Pretty nice. Congrats, Henry. It's big. Man, think of all the stuff you can grow in there. I'm just joking. 798 Monterey Pass Road. You have 3.495 million. You
I
have-
wondered why I had all that aluminum in there.
Okay. So we have this listing is available. It's brand new on the market. Talk to him. He gets to classify this under warehouse, and I think they put it under a different category. Now, 3818 Osbun Road, San Bernardino. You can have your own green pond. This is a 688,000 for this lot size, almost 2 acres. This is a large parcel, this huge 2 acres right here in San Bernardino area. Henry Liu has this as vacant land, probably no considerable structures on the property. But if you love to fish or you love to develop, this might be a great property for you. Only 688,000. Atlantic Boulevard, we do have a business opportunity for sale. This is 110,000 for a fast food Atlantic Boulevard restaurant. And talk to Laura Liu if you have anyone seeking a business for sale. And in Pasadena, we have this back on the market recently. It's 2070 Kinclair Drive, Pasadena. You got that nice after the rain water driveway look appearance. And congratulations to Henry Liu for getting this listing. And I think that's going to cover the actives. I know Joseph has 1194 Quist Avenue, Hacienda Heights. No, I do not have a lisp. This is actually Quist Avenue, 808,000 for this property. I think he got an offer recently. Talk to him if you have anyone interested. We have 1.2 million, 9302 Sparklet Street, Temple City. Kat, I know you have a very nice listing as well. That's one of the most affordable listings in the TC Schools region. Do you remember the address?
It's 9070 Huntington Drive, Unit 14.
Yeah, you're a
San
co-listing
Gabriel.
agent. Yes, I'll go ahead and pull that up. Anything you want to share about it while I pull it up?
The community, the HOA is only like $214 and includes water and trash and common area maintenance.
Okay, number 14,
And,
correct?
and it's at 214 and it's a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, full bathroom.
Okay, so agents, if you're anyone looking for something affordable, someone who wants something right here, Huntington Drive and Rosemead Boulevard, right near the H Mart, I think is near here, or a little-
Grocery outlet.
Okay, grocery outlet. 525,000 guys gets you into Temple City schools in a gated community. Okay. Go help Kat sell this one. It's a nice co-listing agent with her. Yes, it's on the upper floor, but hey, this is probably one of the cheapest and lowest priced homes available if you're trying to have a client getting into Temple City. It's it works. It should work for anybody who a smaller family or a small couple. Okay, so talk to her. 525,000 for this Temple City Schools condo. Next, I wanted to get into the actives as well. Oh, sorry, the closed. 115 Adams Street, Glendale. We have a 4,000 per month lease just recently done with Angel Lau. Congrats to her getting this one completed. 21800 Schoenborn Street. This is Canoga Park. Sold for full price. Congratulations to Esther too. Just closed. Next listing that was just recently closed is myself, and I loved working with Cheryl Johnson. We put together a 3-year commercial lease. Her client, she represented the landlord, and if you have anyone who wants to do nails and beauty, My client happens to start up a new business here, and they'll, if you want, I can get you a good rate for your nails and hair. All right. So this is a great area in Glendora. Cheryl did an excellent job in representing. And 846 22nd Street, San Pedro. Sold full price, $899,000. This is Esther's listing over here. She got it closed. I always love seeing her work. She does fix and design homes very beautifully and goes the whole 9 yards for her clients. 2887 Graceland Way, Glendale. This one just closed with Jerry and Connie Baker. They got this one just completed, did an excellent job. Very, very great job to them. And I think, Jean, you said you had a closing on what street?
12206 Elderberry.
Okay. 1226 Elderberry.
Yeah, 12206.
Thank you, Jean. I'm very happy to report your closing in Elderberry. And this is not it. Did I spell it wrong?
Elderberry Chino. Yeah.
Is this the correct address?
12206. Yeah.
When did it close?
Oh no. Lease is lease, not purchase.
Oh, okay.
It's lease.
Okay, great job on leasing it out.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure why it didn't pop up. I'll have to look at my settings. So
It's okay.
yeah, I feel it should be under
This listing. Yeah.
I found it. I spelled it wrong. That's why. This one.
Yeah.
Okay. Congrats on your lease. 3,500 full price. You got that one done in Chino. Awesome. Any other coming soons or things that you've questions on your mind?
I'd just like to add that Mark and I have a listing coming up. It's a pocket listing. It's coming up. I'd like to share with all of you. It'll go live tonight. I'm waiting on all the further details, but it is a duplex. It's in Santa Ana, and very rare do the duplexes come on the market. So that's going to be coming up in the 950 range, 950,000 range. They're beautiful. They're redone. Great pocket, and I will be having a broker caravan on it on Friday. So it is going to go live on Friday. So any of you want more details on that, please reach out to me. Thank you.
Okay, awesome. So yeah, those are all of our recent solds. I just double checking if there was anything else that I missed. Sounds like that covered all of them. And any other questions I can help you with? I'll check the chat. Nope.
Before you close, I do want to share this book. I got this book at a really neat place. It's called 100 Tricks to Appear Smart in Meetings. It's funny. So any of you want to come by my office and skim through it or make some copies for yourself, please do so.
100 tricks to appear smart.
Yes.
Okay. Why not be smart?
Absolutely. It's
I
humor.
wish I could read the book 100 Tips just to be smart and improve your intelligence. I'm just joking with you. I like to play on words. So don't be a pretender. Don't just appear to be a professional. I hope you are developing into a professional. With that said, take up some classes. CB University is going to have some cool stuff for you to join, especially the global luxury next week. Visit us tomorrow, 12 o'clock, and 12:30 is when Art Carter is going to be presenting Would love to have you join us in person and enjoy the lunch. Bring a friend, realtor, or remind one of your colleagues, hey, come join us for the training, because I know you're here, but maybe not all the agents attend the sales meetings. So if you have anyone that you care about, reach out, talk to them, invite them. It's nice to be asked, okay?
And
With
we have reverse recruiting. Thank you, Kelvin. Great meeting.
okay, and
Great
lastly,
meeting. Thank you.
thanks you guys. Lastly, I am going to be out of town for the next 2 weeks, on vacation with my wife and family. So,
Enjoy.
if you do need me, it's probably best to email/text anything urgent. I'll still have phone once in a while and email access. All right, guys, that's it.
Have fun. Have a
Today.
great day. Take care. I'm here for you. Thank you.
Bye bye. Thank you.